The crypto market is heating up, and this could be the moment we've been waiting for, the start of that thrilling parabolic rise. As always, Bitcoin will lead the charge. That's just how it goes historically, and there's no reason to think this time will be any different. But let's be honest, that's not the part that gets the blood pumping. The real excitement, alt season, that's where the magic happens, where life-changing wealth is made. If it's going to happen this cycle, this is where it will. And for XRP holders, the stakes couldn't be higher. I firmly believe that predictions of XRP hitting double digits are entirely within the realm of possibility. This isn't wishful thinking. It's grounded in reality. Now, I'm no chart wizard, so I won't throw out specific price predictions. That's not my game, but the potential here is undeniable. And the next few moves could be the most exciting yet. When you dive into historical performance and start connecting the dots, it's easy to see how conclusions begin to take shape. Sure, analyzing past movements makes sense, but when you add insights from top-tier chart analysts, things really start to come into focus. You begin to separate the Looney Tunes style predictions from what's overly cautious, landing right in that sweet spot we call reality. That's what makes this so thrilling. Some of these projections are jaw-droppingly high, potentially life-changing numbers. But here's the catch. This isn't pie in the sky thinking. These ideas are deeply rooted in logic and data. In this video, I'll walk you through insights from multiple XRP chart experts and share additional reasons why there's so much to be optimistic about. That final parabolic phase is not just a dream, it's on the horizon. We're far from finished. Before we dive in, let me be clear, I don't have any kind of financial background. This isn't financial advice, so don't buy or sell anything based on what I say or write. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves making YouTube videos for fun. It's my hobby, nothing more. Now, as I'm recording this, it's 11:27 a.m. Central Time, Friday, May 16, 2025. XRP is sitting at $2.41, while Bitcoin has climbed to just over $104,000, 0 cents. Yesterday, we saw some interesting dips. XRP dropped as low as $2.35, maybe even a hair lower depending on the source. Bitcoin also pulled back temporarily, hitting $102,769, 0 cents. What's fascinating is the chatter among analysts. Credible Crypto, for instance, had some thoughts I shared in a video yesterday. He mentioned that, sure, this could be a temporary dip and Bitcoin might drop a bit more, but here's the thing. Based on what usually happens in these situations, and he had his reasons to back this up, even if there's a small pullback, which is all we've seen so far, the trend often flips back upward. From his perspective, the market is showing serious strength right now, and that momentum could lead to more gains ahead. To illustrate that vibe, check this out. I stumbled on a post by Crypto Insight UK. It was bold, written in all caps. Send it all. It immediately grabbed my attention. I thought, all right, send it all. Now, that's the kind of energy I like. What are we looking at here? Well, he shared a post from someone named Quentin, a chart analyst I hadn't come across before, but he's got a solid following, 263,000 on X. The chart he shared is one we've seen variations of before, the Bitcoin illiquid supply. Quentin captioned it, illiquid Bitcoin is going vertical. What does that mean? It shows more Bitcoin is now being held by individuals and entities who aren't actively trading. These holders are in it for the long haul, unlikely to sell anytime soon. An increasing illiquid supply signals that more coins are locked away by long-term investors. Think about it. Less Bitcoin available for purchase, even as prices hover around $104,000, 0 cents. Now imagine when demand spikes and there simply isn't enough Bitcoin to go around, at least not at these prices. There's enough Bitcoin for everyone if you're willing to pay the price. When demand skyrockets and Bitcoin supply dries up, either off the market or held tight, things get interesting. What happens then? Take a look at this yellow line. It's the illiquid Bitcoin supply. Notice that sudden spike? Over 14 million Bitcoin now locked away. Crazy, right? And the black line, that's Bitcoin's USD price rising with the supply squeeze. Check this out. When it all comes together, no single metric tells the whole story. But think about everything I've been emphasizing over the past weeks and months. You know, I've been hammering the importance of global M2 liquidity. And for good reason. It's not the ultimate metric, but it's a vital one. Now, here's something else. All of this forms a perfect picture, like a flawless crypto puzzle coming together. It's incredible. Just look at this. Here's another angle. Bitwise CIO points out that 95% of Bitcoin is already owned, yet 95% of investable money hasn't touched Bitcoin. Fascinating, right? Let's dive into a snippet of this article, and I want you to think about what this could mean for XRP. Seriously, sure, share on Bitcoin. It's exciting, especially if you're in it for the long haul. Bitcoin's price, sure, it has massive potential, maybe seven figures, maybe higher. Or imagine if it actually happens. What would that mean for XRP? This idea gets me fired up because we've already seen the impressive heights Bitcoin and XRP have reached so far. Think about it. These all-time highs were achieved with minimal investment flowing into crypto, and with most people still unaware XRP even exists. Now, picture what could happen when that changes. Here's an interesting take. Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan compares Bitcoin's future to a ticking time bomb of potential, set to explode due to a massive supply shock that could send prices soaring. Speaking at the Consensus 2025 conference in Toronto, Hogan emphasized that current Bitcoin holders are still in the early stages of this journey. He believes the combination of growing institutional interest and a shrinking supply will ignite a significant price surge. Adding fuel to the fire, Eleanor Tarrant, host of Crypto in America, recalled Pantera Capital CEO Dan Morehead's comment at an earlier Consensus 2025 session. Morehead suggested that the crypto market hasn't even scratched the surface of Bitcoin's potential. Morehead pointed out a huge opportunity for growth, and the Bitwise CEO couldn't agree more. He emphasized that 95% of Bitcoin's $21 million 0-cent supply is already in circulation, held by individuals and institutions. Yet here's the kicker: 95% of investable money worldwide hasn't even entered the crypto market. Let that sink in. Almost all Bitcoin is mined, but the floodgates of investment are barely cracked open. Now think about what this means for XRP. With a circulating supply of 58.62 billion, the potential for growth is massive. All right, let's address the concern. Ripple is stalling the circulating supply. Take a step back and really think about it. Even if all their holdings hit the market, it wouldn't even double the current supply. Why? Because about 58.5% of XRP is already circulating. So on the supply side, you can't even 2x it. Now let's flip to the demand side. Can you more than double demand? Absolutely. The crypto space is still in its infancy with only a tiny fraction of people involved. That's the real game changer here. People often overanalyze the supply argument, stressing over Ripple's holdings or future releases. But here's the bottom line. You can't create more XRP. It's a fixed deflationary asset coded to decrease over time. Even if Ripple released everything, there's no way to double the supply. Imagine this, the demand for XRP could easily quadruple, actually way more than that, in just one market cycle. Now, picture a few decades down the road. Wouldn't the cash inflow vastly outweigh any increase in circulating supply? Absolutely. Here's the kicker. Less than 1% of people have ever held XRP, yet it already hit an all-time high of $3.40 during its last cycle. Sure, depending on the exchange, you might see $3.38 or $3.39. But let's not split hairs. It's in that ballpark. It surged to those heights with barely anyone knowing it existed. So ask yourself, what happens as more time passes and crypto adoption grows? When more people dive into this space, what does that look like? Add to this the fact that the United States, the world's largest capital market, is finally embracing crypto, not just tolerating it, fully leaning in. Thanks to the November election, the US is officially pro-crypto for the first time ever. No, seriously, we're pulling out all the stops to ensure crypto achieves wide-scale adoption, making the United States the ultimate crypto hub of the world. Think about it. This is the largest capital market on the planet. If that doesn't get your heart racing, well, you might need to check your pulse. How could you not be excited? This is monumental. So what's next in the short term? A lot. Take this post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. Bitcoin bullish cross as it did in 2024. What followed? A massive rally. He's confident we're on the verge of that big push. And he's not alone. Chart analyst Jelly agrees. His recent post reads, breakout, check. Retest, check. Moon, complete with the hourglass emoji and hashtag Bitcoin. This is exactly how it plays out. A breakout followed by a retest and then the final parabolic rally. Check this out. Chart analyst Mustache Yes dropped a fascinating post. This chart shows total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and ETH, known as total 3. In the top left corner, there's a schematic of an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Now follow along, see where I'm pointing. First shoulder here, head down there, second shoulder here. Then it pushes above the trend line, drops back to test it as support, and shoots off to hit the target. That's the pattern. And guess what? Mustache says this exact setup played out last cycle, and it's happening again right now. He's labeled it altcoins 2021 versus altcoins 2025. And according to him, total. Check out this update from chart analyst, the great Mats, on XRP USD. Here's the latest Fibonacci channel analysis. XRP is showing strong bullish momentum, with the upper channel targeting $4.50 plus. A breakout could be just around the corner. Definitely one to watch. The great Mats is confident this is just the beginning. While he doesn't believe this is XRP's peak, an initial breakout to those levels seems entirely realistic. Check out this post from chart analyst Stephis Crypto. He shared an XRP USD chart with a bold prediction. This breakout will send XRP to $11.00 by summer. Now, you know my take on timing predictions. No one, not even the best analysts, can nail timing consistently. Chart formations may be accurate, but their timelines, they're wildcards. Things can speed up, slow down, or take unexpected detours. That said, this case feels different. History has a way of rhyming, and summer gives us a broad 3-month window. Considering where we likely are in the cycle and the alignment of various metrics, I wouldn't be shocked if Stephis Crypto ends up being right. An $11.00 XRP seems realistic at some point in this cycle. And here's the kicker. He doesn't think $11.00 is the peak. Far from it. He's envisioning a much higher climb. He's been eyeing prices in the low 30s, around 33s, 33 cents, give or take. But when it starts climbing to that range, it happens fast. Blink and you'll miss it fast. It rockets up almost out of nowhere. You might look at it sitting at $2.41 and think, that's so far off. How could it possibly get there so quickly? But here's the thing. When it moves, it really moves. And for XRP, that's just how it rolls. Historically, those sudden surges are its signature. Chart analyst Dom shared an intriguing post recently, and while I didn't dive into every detail to save time, one standout point caught my eye, $2.42. That's the key level for XRP pricing right now. For the short term, holding above that level is critical, and as I'm recording this, XRP is hovering right around it. Yes, it's true there was a slight dip yesterday at around $2.35, but that looks like just a minor deviation for now. XRP is still holding its ground in this range, and with any luck, we'll see a move to the upside soon. Speaking of insights, chart analyst eGray Crypto also shared an XRP USD chart yesterday morning. His analysis pointed to a potential retest or break structure where XRP broke upward, then came back down to test the red trend line as support. It feels like we're at a pivotal moment here, make or break time. Fast forward to this morning. Now with the 2:19 a.m. Central Time, he's anticipating the next rise toward XRP the dipped to $2.34, but looking further bouncing off the edge. Forecast XRP climbing yet, to $3.33 at the time of this post. Moving through XRP the was sitting comfortably at for support. He highlights $2 around where it is now. Right where we landed yesterday, just solid and $2.22. It's looking pretty damn good. To watch. Chart analyst Dark Defender chimed in earlier today and shared some insights on the XRP/USD movement. While he doesn't mention it here, he's confident we could hit $18.00. XRP has wrapped up the first leg of correction in the 4-hour time frame. For now, he pointed out that the $2.49 first wave some played out exactly as predicted, stuck in this range by a precise hit at $2.36. Nailed it with breakout any day now. Honestly, anything's possible. One morning, you might wake up and see it skyrocketing. No one can say for sure. Not me, not the analysts. It's all about probabilities and educated guesses, and that's part of the excitement. Having conversations, sharing insights, it's valuable. But the truth is, we just don't know what's coming. All we can do now is sit tight and see how things unfold. One thing's for sure, though, this is the most exciting chapter yet for XRP holders, at least from where I'm standing. I genuinely mean that. I've never felt this level of anticipation in all my years of holding XRP. And it's been a long journey, 7.5 years to be exact. In all that time, I've never sold a single XRP, not one, but make no mistake, I've always intended to. My goal has always been to sell it all, if and when the time is right. That's the dream, right? And maybe, just maybe, that time is finally approaching. Of course, everyone's targets are different. It's all subjective, but I have a strong sense that for many of us who've been in this for years, we're on the brink of achieving what we've always believed was possible. Life-changing wealth, the kind of wealth that comes from patience and conviction. XRP has made sense to me from the start. Crystal clear sense. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. There's a reason we've stuck by XRP through thick and thin, year after year. It feels good to finally see our faith being rewarded. After everything we've endured, XRP holders remain one of the most battle-tested communities in all of crypto. We've already tasted some vindication with an all-time high this cycle, but the real prize, the one that matters most, is price discovery. And I believe it's coming. We may have missed it last cycle, but this time I think we'll get our moment. Now, let me be clear. I'm not a financial advisor. You shouldn't buy or sell anything based on what I say. That would be a terrible idea. Always make your own decisions. But as for me, I'm ready to see where this ride takes us.